like you never know who you're serving. And it's important to have great customer service because you can print your own money literally. You can walk in the door with $0 and leave with 200, 300, hell, 100. You're going to leave with more money than you came out with, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And it's up to you how much money you make or don't make. It's really up to you. Like you're here, but that's how I looked at myself. I'm a general contractor. I'm here to make as much money as I can in this little bit amount of time. And the best service you give, the more money you're gonna make. Point blank period. And from there, you're gonna like it or don't like it, but either way, you can learn from it and get to know your guests, get personal with them. You're creating an atmosphere for them, to talk to you, a safe zone, keep their secrets. Like it's more than just about bartending, mixing drinks. It's
Talk
that,
about it.
yeah, it's that relationship that you building with like, man, I can go on and on about this. Like it's the
Mm-hmm.
relationship, and people be like, so many people, and everybody. Like, say if I had been just stupid to Alex them, I ain't no way I would have got as I ain't no way they would have saw me like, yeah, thanks to her. Her attitude was trash when she was serving us. Remember?
Welcome back to the Hospitality Hacks Pro podcast. Very special guest on today. We're going to be talking to somebody that's a professional in the bartending industry. And I like my guests to introduce themselves. I don't want to steal the thunder. So please take 60 seconds and give us just a little commercial. Who you are, where you're from, and what you do.
Okay, well, my name is C'Lena Shumaker, owner and operator of Liquid Loud Mixers. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, West Side, Bankhead to be exact. So I teach people how to make six figures with their mobile bartending company and their drink brand. I've been bartending for 12 years going. I started in 2009 when the recession hit. I taught myself how to make drinks. My sister sent me to bartending school, and I just fell in love ever since I've been bartending. So in 2014, I was on the bar. I started curating my drinks. I didn't want the typical Long Island sex on the beach. When I wanted people to come to see me, I wanted to get them the experience. I wanted to let them know this is what I have to offer. And soon, people started telling me to sell my drinks. So I started selling them, and it morphed into a brand, a six-figure brand is really going good. So in 2020, when the world shut down, I started on my CBD line. So I, started doing CBD snacks and lemonades as well. So it's been going good, and I'm happy to meet everybody.
Fantastic, fantastic. Okay, all right. So you say you've been bartending for 12 years?
Yeah,
Tell
since
me, tell me how that
2009.
tell me how that started. So was your sister the inspiration? Was she bartending
No,
first, or how did we
no,
get here?
I
What
was
happened?
broke. This was this was we had the recession in 2008 kind of. So I rolled out of unemployment for a little bit, and then it's coming down. I was like, okay, I got to find something. And I had pretty much worked a lot of jobs. You know how we do. And my mouth always got me in trouble, and so I went to the strip club. I don't know if y'all familiar with Atlanta. Went to the strip club. I can't even remember them. Body Tap off of Marietta Street. And I said, went in, my homegirl, she was like, she asked me first, she said, well, you needed some money. I said, yeah, I need some money. And so she's like, well, go to the strip club. I said, and do what? And so she was like, no, the bartender, they making money. So I'm like, okay. So I went, but I didn't drink. I don't drink. And so I went to the bar and I was like, can I work? I know I just got a hell of a work ethic. And they was like, can you do this? Can you do that? I was like, no, I mean, but I can work. And so I kind of finessed it. They was like, show up. This was it was actually like January 1st, 2009 when I started. Like that night, made no money, no nothing. But I kept coming back because I was staying with my mom and dad at the time. So I worked the weekends. And people are like, why you like working weekends? I'm like, cause I'm at home with my mom and dad. I don't want to be there. So that's how I ended up getting into it. But I kept coming back. And the owner, he just said he wanted me to be on the bar. And I was like, no, no, no. And so he was like, yes, you honest, you coming to work, this and that. And so they put me on the bar. And the first drink I made, I messed it up. It was a vodka cranberry, Grey Goose vodka, and I put Grey Goose, house vodka, and cranberry. And the guy spit it out, cussed me out. He was like, "What you doing?" I was like, "Well, I'm just not a bartender." And they put me in, and I started stuttering. He's like, he turned me around. He said, "Look at the bottles. It actually tell you what's on the bottle." So you look at the apple, the crown apple, it actually tells you it's whiskey. Look at the Grey Goose. So that was my very first course, crash course in bartending. And after that, my sister said, "I'm put you through school because you ain't And she put me through school. I paid her back, and I've been doing it ever since.
So you had the true crash course. You was like,
Oh,
boom,
yes,
in the fire.
yes. And I was like,
Okay.
yeah. And not to be a drinker either. Yeah, it was. Yeah,
Right,
it was horrible.
right. So how did you know when it was right? Would you look for feedback from the guests or what? Or like how would you
Exactly,
know?
because a lot of bartenders do drink, and since I didn't, I was like, I gotta be the best. I gotta be the best. So that's why I took bartending school so serious. And people are like, it's just bartending school. To me, it was life changing because when I was at the strip club, people was coming to see me, and the one thing that stood out for me for everybody else was I listen. I listen to what the customer's saying. I listen to what the guest's saying. So if they say light ice, they gonna get 2 cubes. And I'd rather you tell me more than me having to make the drink over. So that was my motto. That's what I stuck with. I'd rather I'm pouring a drink and you say light cranberry juice. Your cranberry is gonna be pink. If you say a splash, it's a splash. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? So that's what stood me around. So they were saying basically I was starting to make good drinks, and I'm like, okay, I got something, not knowing. So I just listened. Basically, I followed
Hmm.
directions.
Hmm.
It
Now let
started
me
just
ask let me ask you this. I've interacted with my fair share of bartenders. I tried it for a hot minute. It wasn't for me, but I was functional. You know what I mean? Like I was able to do it,
yeah.
but I felt like when I was bartending, it was in a restaurant environment, and it was like I didn't have enough time to really like finesse my guests the way I
Oh,
like
you got to
versus
finesse,
serving.
but
You know, you know what it really was that service well, because you got to
yeah,
make the servers drinks and take care
yeah.
of your guests. And I was
Oh,
like, I
see,
don't
that's the
know.
thing, and this I try to tell people: if you just, because they sitting there, they looking at you at the bar, so they know
Mhm.
what you got going on. All you
Mhm.
have to do is, I'll be right back. 1 second, hold that thought. I'm going right, and then because you got to tell people I'm going right here, then I'm gonna come right back to you. Well, I started, but it's like they love the communication. As long as I made sure and that eye contact, you see them because most people they so busy they don't want to. When you in that fast industry, and
Mhm.
it's fast paced. When you in that fast paced industry, it's nothing to say. Give me 1 second. That's all they want is acknowledgement. And so I
Mhm.
did that real good, and I learned how to multitask because I learned. I said, okay, if they sitting up here seeing me, don't see me, then, then they know what I got going on. But if I just say something to acknowledge it, okay, then we on the same page. And that's what ended
Mhm.
up happening. So people appreciated that.
For
I
sure.
thrive off feedback. So once I know something working, I keep doing it. I'm like, okay, bet I'm this gonna be, the way I do stuff. So
Mhm. If they sitting up here seeing me, see them, see me. Okay, I got you. I'm
yeah,
caught up. I'm caught
exactly.
up. I'm with you. Do you feel
Yeah.
like? Do you feel like? So I've met some bartenders that have gone to bartending school, and then some that, like you, were thrown in the fire and learned like on the job. So you kind of had both sides. Do you feel
Yeah.
now, looking back, that bartending school was necessary, or what are your feelings there?
For me, it was because I wasn't a drinker. When I say I didn't drink, I don't like to taste the alcohol. Still to this day, I don't like to taste the alcohol. So therefore, if I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna get the education behind it. If I don't know, so I was asking, and then I was asking the other bartenders, hey, I'm new. They didn't want to teach me. So, I go home and try to research some stuff, and I just really literally taught myself. And then I felt like, if somebody asked me something, I'd be like, and then I didn't want that. So I'd rather just go to bartending school, you teach me, and then I got real life experience. So say I was in the bartending school class, I'm sitting there, and they was like, well, you pour an ounce. Now, where I was at, they were pouring an ounce and a half. So I'm like, okay, so you know what I'm saying? I'm a finesse this thing. Y'all talking about an ounce, but these clubs, these restaurants talking about ounce and a half. So I saw the difference in what they were doing. So I'm like, okay, they were finagling at the clubs a little bit, and then you get the legal side, and you get the side where you just gotta do some stuff. So
Hmm.
make it work. But I like it. I had both spectrums, so I was like a double sword. I knew what to do and how to do it, how to play
Hmm.
it.
Hmm. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm with you. I'm with you.
yeah.
So we started bartending, got some feedback from the guests, um, decided to go to bartending school, came out of bartending school. Where was the shift? What made you decide to say, you know what? I'm gonna start curating my own drinks, having my own experience and bottling this up as a product. Where how do we get there?
This was 2014, so I think 2009 to 2014, I was just moving around. I was moving around a lot. Bartenders hop around, and I was getting tired. I was like, look, man, uh, I don't know if I was 30 or 31, something like that, but I was like, this bartending is cool, but your feet starting hurting, your back starting, all that stuff that come with it. You getting older on the bar, you ain't get no younger. So it's like I wasn't moving as fast as I was, but people still coming to me because I had quality service, and I'm like, something got to give. I gotta, what's my end game? And so I started, I do a couple of parties every now and then. I would have people come to the bar. I throw a vibe, tailgate at the bar, anything to get the people to come see me. And so my homegirl one day, she's like, "You got these drinks that you making, and you should sell them." And I was like,
Mm,
"No, no, I ain't doing that. Now wait a minute, because I already know from bartending school, what I was like, no, I ain't supposed to do that." And so she was like, "Everybody doing it." I was like, "No, I ain't really seen nobody doing it, but." And so I said, well, let me just try it. So January 1, I would do so January 1st. January 1, 2014, I put a post up, hey, I'm gonna sell this drink. This is my mango madness. And a lot of people knew it because I had already started making it on the bar and I perfected it. And I said, okay, let me see who's gonna purchase. I put it on Facebook. I had like 2 people buy it. I was like, okay, had a little mason jar. And then, from there, they said, you got strawberry, you got this flavor, and it just kind of compounded. And I had the advantage over a lot of people because I was on the bar. So I perfected all my drinks on the bar. Nobody knew what I was doing. At that point, I was just like, my head switched to, okay, exit plan. Let me just see. Because I was making the money once it started. It was slow at first, but I tell people, I got something in the car. Oh, you got something in the car? Yeah, I'm gonna take these keys, what I'm saying, add an extra tip on them. I got you. I was finagling. And so I knew my recipes worked because again I was on the bar. So I'll tell the guests, hey, taste this drink. This is my new drink I'm trying. They didn't know what I was doing. So it's like, oh, it's too sweet, oh, it's too strong, oh, it's too tart. So I'll come back, oh, it's perfect right here, oh, it's perfect. Let me go ahead and write that down. And I was doing it over and over again and nobody knew what I was doing. So yeah, that's how I
mm.
started.
So that's super key. That's super key. I like how your mind works. You taking your current position, utilizing the resources you have at your disposal,
Uh-huh.
perfecting,
That's
testing,
right.
and then getting it just right. Hey,
Exactly.
I
Yeah. So
like
that's why people
it.
say your drinks are so good. I'm like, yeah, because I know what I was, say I did a what's it called case study or however it go on the
There
bar.
it is.
Yeah,
There we
that's what
go.
I
There we
did.
go. I like
Hmm.
that. Okay. Okay. So we're testing. We're trying stuff out. Getting feedback again. That feedback keep coming up. Getting feedback.
Yes,
Okay. Tweaking things as we're
yes,
going along. Okay. So then you start selling your drink. What? Tell me. What was that experience like? Just had you ever done anything in entrepreneurship before? Was this your first time trying
absolutely
something like
not.
this?
Absolutely yes. So it was just like, and a lot of people, again, it goes back to my work ethic. I work. Like when I say I work, because my mom worked, my dad worked. They never took vacations. I didn't take a vacation till I think I was like 20. I didn't understand what vacation was. I worked. So that wasn't nothing to me. So I'm like, well, shoot, let me see if I can come up with some extra income, just extra income trying to, and I literally just went to the Dollar Tree, went to the liquor store, and I put it in, the drink. I already knew the measurements because coming from the bar, and I just I literally put the post, hey, happy happy New Year. I got these drinks I'm selling, and the first one sold for $5. And I was like, I sold my first drink for $5. And then he was like, "Dang, that was good. You want some more?" I was like, you want some more?" And so, it just started word of mouth. It's crazy. So yeah.
And then shout out to the use of social media too. You say you posted on Facebook,
Yeah.
kind of
And it was,
word start getting out.
yeah, because Facebook at the time, it was just Facebook. It was just friends. So
Hmm.
I don't think Instagram was out. It was just really Facebook. And so, yeah, because everybody was on Facebook. And I did
Mm-hmm.
that little post, and they was like, "Where you at? I'm finna meet up with you now." I'm like, "Okay."
Let's
It's
go.
yeah. It was this.
What's
I
up?
took I think $300 that I had, bought a little case, just got some alcohol, and went to work. And I ain't have no labels. I ain't have no nothing. Just a let me just see what's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
Literally.
And the product spoke for itself, huh? Didn't even need no
Exactly. Yeah.
label.
It's
All
crazy.
right.
It's crazy. Like looking back, that's why I'm smiling so much. Looking back, I'm like, dang, it's crazy. I never knew. I was just doing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try some now. If I don't do nothing else, I'm gonna try it.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So, and how does your sister is your sister your partner in the business? How does that factor in? So I
Um.
also have a sister that we are partnering in business, and I find it to be challenging is not the word. It's we normally know each other's we in sync, right? We in sync. We know each other's moves, how we thinking, where we going, but there always has to be kind of like a hierarchy, so to speak, in business. Like you have to know your role, I have to know my role, right? So
Yeah.
how has that been like with that relationship?
Well, she's not my partner. It's my
Okay.
business, but
Okay.
she's my COO.
Okay.
My. I just learned that word, so I couldn't even say what it was for. But I'm more so creative, and she's
Okay.
more so structured. So I can make up some drinks and do this and do that, and then she'd be like, "Did you write it down?" And I'd be like, I just came up with the top of my head," and she'd be looking at me like, so she'd be like, "Document, document." And I'd be like, "Man, gee, what I mean? Let me just." We look alike because we're twins, so we
Right.
look alike, but we're so different. And so,
Mm-hmm.
like even right now, I'm in the kitchen, doing some more drinks. She's outside, unloading the trailer and doing inventory.
Got you.
So, in the
Got you.
creative process, I make the drinks and basically she organized. So,
So you
and we
more the
just got to
more
that.
the creative
Yes.
side. She's more operational piece. And
Hmm.
so y'all do have your roles that you
We
yeah
just
that
learned
makes
that.
sense.
Like, we
Hmm.
just learned that because I don't be listening to her. So something just said, just listen to you, sister. Just listen to her. So she's like, "You got everything in your head. I don't understand. You need to write this stuff down." And I was like, "Well, if I say it, can you write it?" And she's like, "Yeah, okay, fine." So we learning to, we learning.
Right.
It ain't
Right.
we learning.
Right.
And she's
Right. I
more
like it.
organized. Hmm.
Okay.
So when we go somewhere, she have to pack the car because if I pack it, I'm just gonna throw it in there. So she pack it. No, it goes like this because this little corner it goes. I'm like, just throw it in there. No. So yeah, I get
I got you. I got
it.
you. I got you. Okay. So all right. So we went to bartending. So went to did our thing. Started curating drinks. Start building, selling drinks, building the business. And now, so the place that you're in now, you're teaching other people how to build their
Make it.
own business. Tell
Yeah.
me about that. How do we get there? Like it's just like stair stepping, stairs to grow and
Yeah, it
grow. And
is. It's
how do we get
crazy.
there?
Yeah. So I had been actually a lot of people had been asking me, and I was just scared, because I was like I didn't, how you what they call that syndrome where you just looking at yourself like, I'm just whatever. But other people like, man, you killing. I was like, yeah, I'm just, I'm just really figuring it out as I'm going, but I just ain't never quit. Nobody ever saw me quit. I'll get tired, I get irritated, but I wouldn't quit. And people like, man, I like how you do that. Again, it goes back to my work ethic. I just got a work ethic. Like it's gonna work or it's gonna work. That's it. That's all I got. So
Mm-hmm.
it started with I think in 2020 when the world shut down. I was kind of like at a space where good work because the restaurants were shut down, and I
Mm-hmm.
was like, uh, well, first of all, I got fired before 2020. And I kind of went to a depression. I was at this bar for 7 years, and I was like the best, like top
Wow.
notch. That's why I curated my stuff. But it was,
Right.
girl came in there talking all crazy and stuff, and I went off and I ended up getting fired. But then he wanted to
Mm-hmm.
hire me back, but I was like, no, sir, you told me you told me that you let me, in the streets. How you get a week in the streets, but you went around telling everybody I was fired. So now I'm gonna make you eat them words because of you would have missed me before I miss you. So it was disheartening, but I knew it was time to go anyway because I just felt it. You know how you just feel like it's just time to go, and I was so
Mm-hmm.
scared to make that step, and it was just like God was just like push me on out there, and I ain't had no choice. So with that, I just going to the barbershop. I just got in hustle mode going to the barbershop. I really didn't like that, but I did what I had to do. And when it got cold, I got scared and went back to the bar. So I could not stand that bar that I was at. And then I was like, man, festival season ain't gonna be here, ain't gonna be here. They was like, well, when you gonna be? I got my own business. Like, I'm just here because it's cold. So just so happened COVID hit. And it was like,
Mm.
it just saved me. And I was like, man, it was like God told me, like, didn't I tell you? So that's what started in COVID. And during COVID, I started my CBD. So I'm looking at everybody online and stuff, and I just felt lost. Like, man, what can I do? So I started going on live with my homegirl. Started just get on
Mhm.
there talking. I was really doing infomercials, but I was still kind of like empty. Like I need something else because I felt like I had got myself as far as I could go, and I needed a mentor. So Jason Lobel, I think I missed his name, but Alex Good Energy. I saw them on a conference, the Circle
Mhm.
CEO last year. And this is crazy because it's yeah. Just keep listening. So
Because you just did the conference, we'll
yeah,
get there though. But yeah, so it's like full
it's
circle
full,
with the circle.
hold on. It's full circle. And what happened?
You
Calm
want
down.
some
I'm
shine? You want some shine?
so
What kind of dog you have?
he's a little teddy bear breed. I'll let you see him. But what happened? Doggone, he's my awesome. So I was, everybody started going on live, speaking and talking, and I'm just listening, and I'm like, now I know Jason and Alice because they used to come to the bar that I got fired from, and they were all, and I would always, sneak them drink, like, hey, take the switch out, so they already knew what was up. So when I saw them on the stage, I was like, now wait a minute, now they had a little money for COVID. Now wait a minute, now hold up now, and so.
Mm.
I was like, who is that? How did they life change? Because they were, they had a little money, like 100,000, like six figures to seven, eight, figures now. So I'm like, what happened? So I looked and I said, who is it? Who are these people they hanging with? So I started researching. So I ended up getting me a mentor. I think this year, today, last year, I went to a free pop-up shop, Circular CEO. They had a free pop-up shop. I went and I said, if I just see one person that I know, either Jason or Alice, they go, because I never been networking. I was always behind the bar watching people network. So to put
Mm.
myself out, I was like, man, I was
Mhm.
scared. And I talked myself out of it like probably three times. And then some just said, just go. And per usual, I always take my drinks with me. It wasn't a lot. I didn't even have a big cooler. I just took what I had. And so I saw Jason and I said, Jason, what's up? And when he saw me, he gave me a big hug. He said, you got some drinks on you? I said, yeah, I got some drinks on me. He like, yeah, pull up. I said, what you what? What you what? No, this is not what I came here for. I just came here to just, see what was going on. He was like, yeah, go ahead, just yeah, set up shop. And I was like, I didn't pay a vendor fee. He was like, man, that's all that. I said, well, shoot. And I went to the car. Sold out in about 2 hours, made like 2,000. I called my sister.
Let's go.
Hey, bring some more drinks. And she like,
Hey.
cut the stove off, bring some more drinks. And so she pulled up, she saw the cards, and she was like, I think I'm gonna stay. So we stayed, we listened, and then that's when I heard Neo speak, and I was like, who is this guy? And so he was just speaking life into me because I was like, I was around a lot of people who, didn't nobody know nothing, you know what I'm saying? So I just had to step outside my comfort zone and I just went with it. I just went with it and full circle moment. I was a premier drink vendor at the Circle of CEO this last Sunday. So and the booth, I'm gonna see you the picture, the booth was fire.
Yeah,
And
I
I
want to see.
felt like yes, I got my respect. So that's what happened. I got a mentor and he just started pouring to me. I got in this room and like with like-minded individuals and I'm like, oh, so I can do this. Oh, so I can teach it. I never thought about teaching. So people like you need to teach what you do because other people need to know. And I was like, it's easy. But as Leo say, what comes easy to you may come hard to others. So you need to teach them that. So I was just
Mhm.
like, okay. So that's when I said I could start doing my mentorship program. But I was so scared because I didn't know what I was. If somebody's gonna pay me something, I want to be able to give them, everything I got. So that's where it started it. And here I am.
Okay.
I know
Okay.
it's wrong.
So you had
Yeah.
to squash that imposter syndrome. Say,
Yeah,
I
yeah, I
I
still
don't
get it.
belong. I can't. Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
So
because
how do
I, again, I'm behind the bar looking. I never
you?
said anything. So, they all, the help, how they want to, play it. But I'm a boss, baby. That's just it. I've come to
Yeah.
terms with that. So yeah,
Okay. Okay.
definitely.
So what do you do now when that feeling resurfaces? You said sometimes it still
Um,
comes back. What how do you combat that?
because it's just that I'm just so humble. I'm just so cool. I'm just so whatever, man. Because I'm always just working. That's how I look at it. I'm just Lena. That's how I look at myself. But people like, no. So my homegirl, I just call her Nisha, and she just be like, no, you did it, you did that. No, do you know that? So I have to look at the eyes of other people looking at me versus me looking
Mm,
at myself. Because you grew up
mm,
with you know everything about you, and so it's like when I feeling low, they like, nah, man, you ain't no. So it takes other people to tell me about myself, and I know it, but I just be like, yeah, whatever. So, but yeah,
and you know
I'm
why
done.
that's so key? Because you chose to surround yourself with some different type of people so that they can speak that life into you when you
Yeah,
have those moments. So
yeah,
that's super. That's what they call a gem right there. That's a gem
yeah,
right
yeah,
there.
yeah. I'm learning now.
Yeah.
I'm learning a lot. So, I mean, you could tell even from this last weekend, the people who used to follow me, they still follow me and all that stuff. They just like, damn, you on another level. I just knew I had to show everybody. I didn't think another level. I was just knowing y'all finna show how I see myself. And people like, man, you on another level. I know your price don't went up. XYZ. That's for people who just, I just know I'm like, shit done went up now. It's going up. So when I say premium, I'm
Yesterday's price,
premium. Yeah, exactly.
not
So
today's price.
exactly that part. So yeah,
I
I show.
respect it.
I'm a show me type of person. I'm gonna show you better than I can tell you. Okay. Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So one question I always ask all my guests is, I don't know if you know this about me, but I teach high school, so I teach culinary arts at a high school. So I'm around young people, all day. In addition to, the restaurant consulting,
Uh,
but I'm around young people, and so a lot of times they're trying to figure out what they want to do, how they want to do it. I mean, shoot, some of us grown folks still trying to figure it out. So,
yeah.
but in the effort in trying to give them direction, let's say one of my students was sitting in front of you and said, you know what? I've seen bartending on TV. Maybe they know somebody, an aunt or cousin, somebody is bartending. They think they maybe want to get into the restaurant industry or maybe go work on somebody's hotel or cruise ship or something like that. What would you say to that person? How would you direct this young person if they want to get into the industry in some capacity on to figure out where they fit? What would be your 2 cents?
I'll just say, well, you where I was a few years ago because I was trying to figure it out, and there's nothing wrong in trying to figure it out. Um, Being in the restaurant industry is good because you never know who you're gonna meet. Like you're you're your own boss. I mean, granted, you are working for someone, but you're your own boss. You can print your own money. You can meet people, network. You never know. I just get to know your guests, get personable with them. You're creating an atmosphere for them. To talk to you, a safe zone. Keep their secrets. Like it's more than just about bartending, mixing drinks. It's
Talk
that,
about it.
yeah, it's that relationship that you building with the like. Man, I can go on and on about this. Like it's the
Hmm.
relationship, and people be like, so many people, and everybody. Like, say if I had been just stupid to Alex them, I ain't no way I would have got as I ain't no way they would have saw me like, yeah, thanks to her. Her attitude was trash when she was serving us. Remember, so just imagine if I had did that, and then what I'm saying, years later, I need them. So like, build your relationships up, and it's ain't no telling where it can take you if you don't want to bartend no more. Like Alex asked me one time to work for him in the trucking, and I was like, nah, man, I got my own thing I want to do. He respected it, but it's just
Hmm.
like you never know who you're talking to. So treat people kindly, and they can take you to the next level. Maybe you don't
Hmm.
want to be bartending no more. Maybe you want to go work for their company or something. It's You can do whatever. Like you don't have to go to school. You don't have to, because I didn't go to school. I went to school with my mama, but I was supposed to go down to college. My sister went down to college. I had to stay back because she knew I was
Hmm.
gonna party. So like it's endless because you're working with the public, but people are expected and experienced. And if you deliver that, they're gonna ask for you every single time. Like you can build your clientele, you can build your money up, you can build these relationships. It ain't no telling where it's gonna take you in life.
Mm, that's good stuff. That's good. You talking my talk. That
Listen,
service. You talking my talk. You talking my
we
talk.
already talked about it. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. Just give people that experience. People go out because they want to spend money and have an experience. And I tell people that all the time. Like, give it to them. They
Yes.
want this the warmest market you could ever have. They come in and
Yes.
sit down to give you their money.
Uh-huh.
Run it
And
up.
you make
Take
it personable. Cause I know
yeah.
like when I used to they used to like, you need to say C'Lena, da 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 my name. I'm like, yeah, okay. I'll talk to me. What's going on, y'all? Shoot, my name's C'Lena, I got your drink. Like I had a spiel, but I remixed it. You
Hmm.
don't have to just say, hi, you welcome to such and such. My name, like just throw some personality on it. So they can be like, okay, because you
Hmm.
never know. They might have gave you a $20 tip now just because you said your name how you said it, they gonna give you 50. Like you never know. Like people
Hmm.
love to feel special.
Right.
It ain't
Right.
like you kissing their butt, but you feel you make them feel good. They gonna feel good. And they gonna tip you. It's just what it
Hmm.
is.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
look, we know.
Good stuff. I'm about to break my neck now. I'm like, yep, yep. That's true.
So
That's facts. That's facts. I
that's
love it. I
why I
love it.
tell them.
I love
It's
it. So
definitely.
that kind of segue into my last question really is about the service piece. I can't let you go before I ask you about the service piece because I'm all about above average service. So if you
Yes.
could just boil it down, you talked about a lot already, relationship building, listening, building connection, keeping people secrets. That was a
Yeah.
gem because people come it's halfway a therapy
Mhm.
session when they sit at the bar halfway. So you
Yes.
dropped a lot already, but if you just had to boil it down to just what would you say is the number one tip to being the best bartender that gives the above average service, not what everybody else doing, because everybody's like, hey, welcome, glad you're here, let me get your order. Everybody's doing that. What you drinking? But just to kick it up, just that little bit of notch. What would you tag as the number one tip?
Gotta be you. And it's so simple, but
Mm,
people miss it. Like it's
mm,
so simple, but people miss that. Like you just gotta be you. Like either they gonna
mm,
like you or they ain't. And if you in the industry, more than likely they gonna like you.
mm-hmm,
Just be you. What's up? Like I got to the point I'd be like, we're going. I like they be like, they good. Like listen, I done had orders come in. And like people knew my schedule. Like it was so crazy. You just gotta be you. And I didn't tell people at the time, but since everybody telling how much they made, I was a six-figure earner. Like I looked at my W-2 and I was like, dang. It got to the point where, my mama, she would ask me, well, how does everybody in my family, I'm the only bartender, and they'll say, won't you get a 9 to 5? Won't you, benefits? And so I was like, I'll take my money. Like,
right.
hey, I ain't ask y'all for nothing. And so one day when my mama came to work with me, we was vending. She I let her get the tips. I said, you can keep the tips. And she's like, okay. So she counted them and it was like $100. She was like, I made $100. I said, how you think I made all that money when I was bartending? I said,
Mm-hmm,
and then so after a while, she was just like, well, how much money you make today? How much money you do this? How much, so every day it's like, how many tips you make? So she was kind of like, dang, she never knew, because
mm-hmm,
she old school. My mama almost 70. So she never
mm-hmm,
knew that, that aspect. You can do what you want to do. And I ain't work but 4 days out the week.
mm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So, be personable, be you, and let people fall in love with you, and their wallet's going to open up
There it is.
tremendously.
That authenticity. Be
Exactly.
yourself. I love that. I
You
love
couldn't
that.
take
That's
that.
good
You
stuff.
cannot take that. So
That's good
yeah,
stuff. That's
it's
awesome.
not gonna
Okay.
happen.
All right. That's good. That's good. That's
Yeah,
good.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, hey, that's let me jot a note real quick. Authenticity. I like it. I like it.
Yeah,
So if
gotta be
somebody is
real.
watching this that wants to work with you or reach out to you to get more information, maybe they bartended a while and they want to start doing their own thing, or maybe they have zero experience and they're like, that sounds fun. That's one of those sexy jobs. People are like, yeah, I think I could bar. Like people always think they could
They
bartend,
don't,
but
don't
you
they do?
do you think anybody? But your story kind of speaks to that fact that you started with zero experience, jumped behind the bar, learned, you worked hard,
Zero.
right? Do you think anybody can just pop up and bartend? Like, I think I want to do it, or do you think it's a
Now,
special skill set?
it's a special skill set. Because honestly, now I was working in the clubs when I started. So I was working
Okay.
in clubs and lounges. I didn't have to talk. I didn't have to speak. I had,
Hmm.
sign language. Hold up the bottle to, the fingers, ring it up, get it to them. That was the fast bar. Then I got to the other bars, and I wasn't making any money because I wasn't talking. So I
Mm.
learned real quick. You better say something. And
Mhm.
so it was awkward at first because I was kind of an introvert, and I'll be
Mhm.
like, "Hey, how you doing?" Because the bar was so small and intimate, I had to talk to you. I
Mhm.
had to. So I was
Mhm.
like, okay. So once I learned, okay, I got to speak. So if you're an introvert, this not for you. You know,
Mhm. Okay.
yeah, it's definitely, you can make mix all you want, but if you can't walk up to them customers and speak confidently and make a good drink, and be this not for you because you both know when them when they start drinking, they can before they start drinking they one way, and then after they start drinking they become a little, you got to be able to handle that. You got to have some
True.
tough skin, and if
True.
somebody say something to you out the way and you start crying, well, you gonna be crying forever because these customers can be rude sometimes. You got to get with
Mhm.
them. I have
Mhm.
had to get with some customers. I say, who you talking to? What you say to
Mhm.
me? And they be like, oh, I was
Mhm.
just playing. I know you was, but again, you got to have some tough skin, and you got to be an extrovert to be in this environment. That
Okay.
part to make some
Okay.
money.
Okay,
Hmm.
okay. And I kind of I was going to say, hey, how can they reach out to you? And then that popped up. I was like, wait a minute, let's talk
Yeah,
about
that's
that
right.
real
My
quick.
bad. Oh.
It's like, all right. But definitely, if somebody wants to reach out to you, they want to learn more about how you could potentially help them to build a bartending business or become a better bartender. Specifically, which are you doing both, like the individual service and helping people build business, or what is your
So I'm doing both because I do both. So
okay?
I do mobile bartending. My drink brand is stronger, but the thing is my sister like doing the mobile bartending part and I just like to do the drink brand. So we do both, because people be like, do y'all bartend too? So I tell them, say we do both. We just more known for our drink brand because that's what we focused on. But we definitely do both because a lot of people like it's crazy. I had a consultation with a girl yesterday and she was trying to get in my mentorship and I said, well, you have any experience? And she's like, no. I said, you don't have any bartending experience? She's like, no. I said, okay. I said, well, this mentorship is not for you. I'm not going to take your money and say, X, Y, Z. I said, however, I do have a bartending course. So let's start there.
There you
Let's
go.
just get the basics. Okay.
There you
And so I said, then once you finish that, then you reach back out to me and I'm gonna, I'm gonna do an assessment with you, make sure you know what you're doing and what you're talking about before I take you to the next level. So it's levels in this. People
go.
just think they can get to and I tell people, honestly, I'd rather you go work at a bar.
Hmm.
You got to get that experience. I can't give you that. I'm teaching it to you. Then you just, I want you to go work in the bar. And I tell them, they're not going to put you on the bar. They're going to put you as a server first. I said,
Yep.
I know what I know. I'm telling you. I said, but if you
Yep.
do both, it'll make you a better bartender. My
Hmm.
sister's a better server than me. I suck as a server because
Okay.
when I come back, I walk slow. I don't like, it's just a lot, but I'm not the trades. But the bar, I'm a better bartender than her. So you know what
Okay.
I'm saying. So you gonna figure it out. And when I would
Hmm.
go to places, I already knew they were gonna put me behind the bar because you touching their money. They don't know you. They
Hmm.
gotta learn to trust you. So therefore, if you go to the bar, you don't have to be there long, but get some experience so you can learn to deal with different personalities. All that stuff play a part. Then you can go to the next level. Like it's levels to this. So
Hmm.
they can reach me at all social media platforms, Liquid Loud Mixers. They want to learn about bartending. I have a course. I have a mentorship. I'm starting an accountability class when I get on every week and just try to hold people accountable because I know everybody busy, but you still gotta work on your business. How you think you gonna get to the next level. So also too, I have an ebook if y'all want to know how to make six figures behind the bar. I got a little 5 steps, do that. So just, shop with your girl. Now I also had a drinks, got shopliquidloud.com for the CBD. And everything is in my bio and my links. I also have the other drinks. I ain't gonna say what they is, but you can shop in my bio, okay? So yeah, that's pretty much it. You can DM me as well. I want to learn if you want to learn, get in the mobile bartending business or make six figures with your drink brand. You can do both. You don't have to, do one or the other. You can do both. So I feel like I'm missing something else. Oh, and I have a private Facebook group called Boss Bartenders, BAWSE, Boss Bartenders. And
Boss
I just
bartenders.
I get in there and I give, what y'all been up to. Hey, y'all, hey, I don't see y'all posting.
Mm-hmm.
This what they I don't see y'all posting. I'm tired. I don't care about you being tired. I need you to post. So thank you. Thank you.
That accountability is
Oh yeah.
important. It's
Like man, I'm
important.
like, listen, you at
Yeah.
least 2 times a day, y'all, because it get me sometimes too. So, but
Mm-hmm.
you gotta do what you gotta do. You want to stay relevant.
There it is.
That's
There it
it.
is.
That's
There it
it.
is. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Multiple
No
gems dropped. I'm
problem.
gonna go back and rewatch this again myself and write these gems down. It was some good stuff. And thank you everybody watching Hospitality and or listening to Hospitality Hacks Pro podcast, where we bring on cool people like Lena to tell their journey in the industry, drop those gems and share things that they've learned. So that's what we all about here. Appreciate you so much for coming on.
No problem. I appreciate you. We gonna talk some business too.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Let me end this real quick. Bye, y'all.